Hello everyone and welcome to the Bargain Bin, a show about speedrunning games all under $20. I'm your host, Midnight Vesper, and if you're new here, here's how this whole show works. For more current/digital games, we'll be using stores like Steam, GOG, itch.io, Ubisoft, Epic, etc. to look at the list/MSRP price. For retro games, we'll be using a wide assortment of websites to look for the loose price of the game. We do not count any sales or discounts as they vary from time of purchase. Couple quick announcements for this month. Unapologetically Black and Fast is coming up. In this new recurring Hotfix marathon, Black runners are front and center in a celebration of Black joy. The first iteration is running February 12th and 13th for 12 hours a day. The schedule is in fact out now. You can find it at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And don't forget, at the end of this month, running February 27th through March 5th, is actually Frost Fatales. You can use !FF in chat or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information. And of course, on today's show, we're going to be showcasing two really wide contrast games that are both, of course, under $20. Later on, we're going to be showcasing Gears of War Ultimate Edition, but first we're going to go ahead and showcase this game that's a little less violent than Gears of War, called Kaze and the Wild Mask, with being run by Death Control. How are you doing, Death Control?
Hey, thank you, Midnight Vesper. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm Death Control, and I have been running this game for a good few months now. Got a number of hours in it, and I'm really excited to be here. So grateful that I was invited on, and I'm really looking forward to this run. So this is a really fun game. This is a 2021 indie platforming game that is Donkey Kong Country inspired. And you're going to see that if you're familiar with Donkey Kong Country, you're going to see that the mechanics for it are very similar. And I've also got on my virtual couch with me Kavalka. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, hope everyone's having a good night. I'm Kavalka, and I'm here to help Death Control with commentaries today on his run.
Yeah, and Kavalka's a really talented runner as well. He was running this game soon after release, found a lot of strats for it, pushed the times down really low, and this run would not look like what it looks like today without his help, so I'm really grateful that he's here with me. So with that, I suppose I'm about ready to jump into the game. I can give you a countdown if we're getting started. Are we ready?
Yep, whenever you're ready.
All right, great. So we are going to be running any percent on the casual difficulty. I'll let you know what that is when we get into the game. But for now, I'm going to hit go, and the screen's going to fade to black, and we're going to have time start on that fade. So get ready. So 3, 2, 1, go. And first thing we're doing is just skipping a cutscene right there. And we've got this little opening intro scene. We skipped the cinematic cutscene, but we still have to wait through this. The first level we're going to jump into is 1-1, and this level, like any good 1-1, is really just a basic tutorial to the mechanics, so here we're just going to see the basic movement in the game. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a lot of spinning, so this spin move is basically just like your roll move from Donkey Kong Country. It's fast, you can hit enemies with it. When you hit enemies, you go even faster, and that's going to be the primary move that we want to use for most of the run, and we can also jump, and of course, just like Donkey Kong Country games, we can spin off of platforms and then jump in midair. So that's kind of our primary movement mechanics, and the other thing that we have is we have this little float move, which just makes us slow fall. So the main character in this game is very similar to Dixie Kong from the DKC series. The main character in this game, now Kaze to me, that spells Keɪz, so I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong. In fact, the developers of the game have confirmed that it is supposed to be Kaze, but go ahead and fight me in chat about that. Is it Keɪz? Is it Kaze? Let me know what you think. We're going to be jumping into 1-2 here, and I wanted to talk about that casual mode difficulty. Kavalka, do you want to explain the difference between casual and original mode?
Yeah, sure. So as you can see, there's a little floating guy on our side, and it functions basically like a shield to us. So in casual mode, we can take 2 damage, and a third damage would kill us and reset us to the latest checkpoint. But on the original difficulty, we only have 1 shield, and that's it. Also, there's 3 checkpoints on casual mode and just 1 checkpoint on original mode. So casual mode is basically more showcase friendly. So if we die, we don't lose a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. So original is kind of the more popular main run category here, but casual is going to be easier for us because I can take extra damage, and if I do die, then I don't go as far back. So we're going to be jumping into the next level here. 1-3 is actually a bonus level, and we don't have to play any of the bonus levels in any percent, so we're skipping straight ahead to 1-4, and this level is going to be the first level where we pick up a mask. It's going to be the bird mask. And the masks in this game are very much like the animal buddies in Donkey Kong Country, so they change up our movement. None of them are optional power-ups in this game, they're all required. But anyone who's played DKC 2 or 3 should understand very quickly what's going on here. The bird mask is just like Squawks, so you can mash your jump button to fly up. You can fly left and right, and you also have an attack. We're not going to be using the attack in this level because every time that she attacks, she has to stop for a moment, and there's actually nothing we need to hit in this level, but we will see that later on in the run. The other thing to mention during this time is actually just to quickly talk about the collectibles. So you can see there's these little red gems around, and there's also the letters. So there's 3 types of collectibles in this game. The red gems, you need 100 of them in each level to get like the red gem achievement for that level. There's the 4 letters, K, Z, and E, that you need to collect for that. And then there are actually 2 bonuses in each level that give you a green gem, and those are needed to unlock the bonus level, the one that we're skipping. In any percent, we actually do not want to collect any of the collectibles because that end screen where it tallies up our score, that end screen, if we collect more collectibles, then it wastes more time on that end screen. So in any percent, we're trying to avoid them. But if you're doing like a 100% run, or if you're just trying to finish the game 100%, then you're going to need to collect all of those collectibles in each level. So now we're moving on to 1-5, and this is a vertical level, Vine Climb, and this level showcases the final piece of movement tech that we didn't talk about, which is the ground pound. Kavalka, you want to explain to them how the ground pound works?
Okay, so there's 2 basic techniques that Death Control has explained earlier, and there's the ground pound, which is very useful when we want to reach higher platforms. So when we use the ground pound, our character gets a bit higher, and we can reach some platforms that we should take some more time to reach. And this will help us skip a lot of this level right here.
That's a big skip. That skips a lot right there. You have to take damage to get that little extra height just from getting popped up by the damage, and you have to ground pound, and it skips having to go all the way around. So yeah, the ground pound's really helpful. It's a very multifunctional move. Occasionally we will use it even to go down, but we do use it to get that extra height from going up quite a lot, especially in the vertical levels. So the next level is a pretty straightforward platforming level. It's called Lights On, Lights Off. We have these light mechanics which kind of activate or deactivate the enemies. It's a lot like Stop and Go Station from the original Donkey Kong Country game. And in this level, it'd be really good to just talk about how the individual levels work, because it's a good thing to understand just for reference. Kavalka, do you want to briefly explain just how the IL runs work in this game?
So after you complete a level, you can replay that level, and there will be a small clock right at the beginning, basically like Crash the Bandicoot time trials, I would say. And you can pick up the clock and you run the level as fast as possible. There's the gold medal, silver medal, and it doesn't matter which difficulty you are playing, because you only will get 1 shield and that's it. Everything from the level is removed and you can only take 1 point of damage. It's like playing on original mode, but there's no hurt in the level.
So since there's no extra hearts in the IL, you only get 1 heart. That means that for each IL, if you're going to do a damage boost somewhere, that there's only 1 place where you can do it. But in full game runs, there's extra hearts, so you can take more than 1 damage boost. And one thing I really love about this game is that the damage boosts are actually really important in a lot of the runs, and I will be going for a lot of them. Because it's really cool, because you can get like a good time just kind of playing safe and avoiding it. But if you really want to go for like a top time, you usually have to play super aggressive and take damage boosts somewhere. So, A lot of times when I'm taking damage, it's intentional. I'm not sure how easily that is to see over the stream, but I am doing a lot of intentional damage boosts. So this is 1-7. This is the first level with water, and we're going to be introduced to the Shark Mask. The Shark Mask, you can almost think about like On Guard from DKC, but she's a bit different. And in the water, when we're playing as the rabbit, we just want to stay out of the water because she swims really slow. But the shark, we have this cool movement technique when we exit the water, we can get a bunch of speed. I call it a shark super dash. We're going to see if we get it right here. There's 3 times we're going to use it in this level. I kind of got it right there. And boom, that was good. So that big speed boost right there saves a lot of time. And it's just because popping out of the water is kind of glitchy. And you just basically dash and then you jump out shortly after, and it just transfers a lot of the speed into your jump. So that one, not as good as it could have been, but not bad. So that saved a good amount of time in the aisle, and it's actually pretty hard to hit. It took me a lot of practice to get that. Take damage there on accident, no big deal. Still got that extra heart. And here we're actually going to have some bullets coming at us. We can just slip through them, just like that. Just because the hitboxes in this game are kind of funky sometimes. And just like that, we're going to be out of 1-7, and we're going into our first boss. So this is Mother Mona. The boss coming up, and basically what I want to say about this boss is just that the first thing about this game is that there's actually no RNG in it. Everything is completely fixed. There's a little asterisk on that. There is one small instance of RNG, which I'll point out when we get there, but the boss patterns are totally fixed. She does the same exact thing every time. All the other bosses are like that. It looks random, but it's not totally fixed. And the other thing about this boss is there's a way to get quick hits off on this boss, which are kind of risky. I'm going to be going for them. But basically, if you see these kind of green leaves in the background on the trees, those leaves are actually going to turn into platforms during the boss's vulnerable phase, and we're supposed to climb up the platforms. But I can actually just jump straight through and hit the boss, and you're going to see this in just a moment. First, we have to dodge these spiky things, and then the boss is going to come down and become vulnerable. And we're just going to jump straight in there and hit her, just like that. Skip going over the platforms. So the thing is, that only saves about 1.5 seconds, and it's incredibly risky. The reason why is because if you get hit by the fire, you take damage. Taking damage is just taking damage. As long as you have some hearts, you won't die. But if you touch the boss directly, for some reason, the boss exits the vulnerable phase and just flies away and completely resets the cycle, and you don't get any damage off on her. So shoutouts to Minfin. So you really want to make sure that if you're going for these, that if you're going to get hit, you hit the fire and not the boss, because if you touch the boss and just get the phase reset, you can lose like 20 or 25 seconds to that, all for, you know, just a 1.5 second gain. It's quite risky. So I haven't taken any damage so far. I'm actually going to take damage intentionally in just a moment. So there's one reason why I do this. At the end of the level, if you don't take any damage, there's some text which says no damage, and that text appearing wastes a little bit of time. So if you're in a situation where you can just kind of easily take damage, then we can save that text appearing. It's a tiny time save. It's like less than half a second, but, you know, might as well just take damage and skip that. So
good boss fight.
Thank you.
Really good.
That went well. That, like I said, that could go really bad if the phase gets reset. That can go really bad. So this fanfare here, we just kind of have to wait, and we're moving on to Island 2. There's 4 islands in this game, by the way. Island 2, this is actually my favorite island. This is like the Snow Island, and we're going to be introduced to one of my favorite songs in the game, in this level, the Snow Song. And this level also has ice physics, but we're going to be spinning so much you probably won't really see it. It's actually the only level with ice physics. But it's a generally fun level. We have these carrots attacking us, and actually one thing that I wanted to cover really quick during this level is just the way that, like, the cycles work. So anytime that you have, like, moving enemies and stuff like that, Kavalka, do you want to talk about the cycles real quick?
Other than the RNG, there's no RNG in this game. Another really good thing is that the cycles are local. So the enemies only start working when you are close to them. So you don't need to rush, you don't need to go really fast so you can, I lost the cycle. No. You can take your time and you still get a good cycle of enemies.
Yup, I think it's one of the best design decisions in this game because it's like if you mess up, it's not going to mess you up later in the level. And also if you find a time save somewhere, then you don't have to worry about what's going on later in the level because the enemies are going to end up in the same place. So they all spawn just locally. And now we're moving on to 2-2 slingshot rides. So this level introduces the slingshots. The slingshots are very much like the barrel cannons from Donkey Kong Country. So you have the ones that auto-fire you, and you have the ones that you fire on your own. And generally, when you enter the slingshot, there's like a small delay before it fires you. And what that means is the ones that fire us horizontally are good. If they shoot us to the right, they're good. Because they shoot pretty fast. But the ones that shoot us straight up, we kind of want to avoid, so we're going to be trying to skip those as much as we can. We're going to take damage here to skip those slingshots, and that's kind of a casual-only strat because we're also going to be taking damage here. So now we're just abusing the 2 HP thing that we have. So both of those damage boosts are intentional. They skip us a little bit of hanging out in the slingshots. That one we have to take. And now we are going to need to use the ground pound in a few instances to get that little extra height to get us up to those slingshots right there. And again, that's where the ground pound is just a super useful multi-tool because it just gets us that little extra height. We're going to take damage here intentionally so we can spin through that guy. Some of these damage boosts are like super minor, but we've got a lot of health. We might as well put it to good use. That's 2-2 Slingshot Ride. That level went pretty well. The next level coming up is 2-4 Tiger Popsicle. My split name for this level is Best Level because this level is awesome. I think everybody loves this level. This is actually this is the one instance of RNG in this game, which I'll briefly explain. There's some falling icicles, and they kind of all fall at the same time, but some fall a little bit before the others. And if you get very lucky, you can actually just like charge at them and pass right through without taking any damage. Now, in the full game run, I've actually got... So here we go. Let's see if I take damage. Boom! No damage. Excellent. That's the good RNG right there. I'm so glad that happened on the show. We're going to do that one more time, and let's see if I take any damage. All right, that time I took damage. So, since we've got extra hearts in the full game run, it doesn't matter that much if we take damage, but in the IO, we only got that one heart. And that means that in order to get, like, a solid, like, top time in the IO... Well, what I've done in my PB is I have gone through those 2 spots and just kept resetting until I got the good RNG both times. I did not mean to take damage there, but that's okay. And so here we have the Tiger Mask. Kavalka, do you want to explain the Tiger Mask real quick?
Okay, so when we have the Tiger Mask, we cannot float anymore, and instead of this beam, we have this dash. We can dash in the air, and we can dash while we are in the ground. And other than that, we can now climb walls. So it's a really fun mask. You can go zooming through the level really fast.
Yeah, I think the Tiger Mask is like everybody's favorite mask. It's a lot of fun. And I've got some damage boost routed in here. That damage was intentional. We're going to do another damage boost right up here just because we have this extra health and we don't really need it. So we're just damage boosting just so that we can scoot along the floor like that and ignore the platforms, not have to wait for them. So this level is really fun in full game because you get so many hearts and you get so many damage boosts that it just becomes really fast. It's cool.
So with the masks, do you keep them throughout the rest of the level? Is there a time limit, or is there a way that you can lose the mask in that particular world or level?
Yeah. The mask is just fixed to the certain part of the level, so once you pick it up, you're the mask for the rest of the level, basically. So it's not exactly like a power-up, it's more just like an alternate gameplay section. That's how you should think about it. And this level is 2-5 Ropes of Hope. My split name for this level is Ropes of Dope, because this level is dope. I freaking love this level. It's basically a rope auto-scroller, but we are not doing very much auto-scrolling. We're going to be skipping a lot of these ropes, just using these movement mechanics that we have. We're going to be taking damage right here, and you can see, like, how many ropes have I actually, like, ridden on so far? Like, none of them. Like, we're just skipping them all.
I also enjoy how the enemies are all kind of like different types of food, from what I've seen.
Oh, yeah! Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, the enemies are all vegetables. The red guys that you see, these guys right here, everyone thinks they're tomatoes. They're actually beets. The tomatoes are the guys with the bazookas. I think we've seen them already, I'm not sure, but we'll see them soon. And so here's this big damage boost at the end to skip that whole auto-scrolling section. You can see I only took 1 damage, which means that that strat is viable and original, and that's going to be actually the ILD boost, is that one right there. Amazing. So that was a good level. That went really well.
Yeah, yeah.
Next up, 2-6 Arctic Blizzard. So this level introduces Sideways Wind, which is pretty intuitive. It pushes you around. And it's also a bird mask level. And there's this really interesting wind boost that you can get later on in the level. Kavalka, do you want to explain the strat for getting that wind boost?
Okay, so currently the strat for getting that boost is just hope that you get the wind boost. Because we at the moment don't know how to do that consistently. So
yep.
On ILs, we just hope we get the boost, and well, if we don't, we just reset. Nah.
Didn't get it, didn't get it. The wind can push you all the way into the mask, and we have no idea why it works. And yeah, the strat is just reset until you get it. One thing this game could really use is, this community, we could really use some glitch hunters, because there are several things that we honestly don't fully understand in this game, certain mechanics that we just don't exactly know how they work. And anybody who's like good at finding glitches, or anyone who can tear apart the code and figure out how things work, like, we could really use you to help us figure out how some of these things work. That's one of them. We don't know why or how the wind boost works, but we got it in our PBs by just resetting until we got it. So it would have been sick if I got it, unfortunate, but that's okay. So that's going to be the end of this level. Next level is going to be Forgotten Mask. That's going to introduce... So we're about to be introduced to the final mask in this game, which is the Lizard Mask. The Lizard Mask is an auto-scroller, but it's a very interesting auto-scroller. So it's similar to the minecart levels from Donkey Kong Country. You just move to the right automatically. And when you're going down slopes, you speed up, and when you're going up slopes, you slow down. So what we want to do is we actually want to go down the slope to speed up, but then we want to preserve that speed. And we can do that by bunny hopping. No pun intended, by the way. So the two main mechanics that you have on the Lizard Mask are the double jump and this dive move. And the thing is that I'm going to continue bunny hopping. We ride the downslopes, and then we're going to keep diving at the ground and jumping. And the reason that I'm doing that is because when you dive into the ground, you actually get like a huge buffer window, and you can basically just hold your jump button. You don't have to really time the jump at all. That damage was intentional. Again, that was just about the that damage was just about getting rid of the no damage at the end of the level. That's the only reason I take damage there. But yeah, we have the maximum speed right now, and we're basically just continuing to ground pound to try to keep it. And it ends up making this a pretty fast level. In fact, maybe when I get to the end, I can slow down very, very briefly just to show you what the normal movement speed is.
So there was a good question in chat, actually. So was wondering, what all can you get this game on? Because you're playing it on PC. Is it available on the consoles in any way, shape, or form?
All right, thank you for asking. Yes, so this game is available on Steam for $19.99. It is 1 penny less than $20. And it is available on all platforms. You can get it on Switch, you can get it on PlayStation and Xbox. I think it might even be available on the older generations of those consoles. I don't think you need PS5 or Series X. So it's available anywhere. It is most popular, the speedrun on the PC is most popular because we have an auto splitter and load remover. However, we have a leaderboard for consoles as well. So if you just want to play it casually, it's not that long of a game. You can beat it 100% in not too many hours, and then if you want to get into the speedrun, you can start with the aisles because we have that in-game leaderboard, so it's a really great way to start. So it's available anywhere.
And I know you're on PC, and I'm assuming you're doing keyboard mouse. Is it, for speedrunning purposes, is it better to do keyboard mouse or controller, or does it matter at all?
Well, I personally am a little bit of a keyboard supremacist, so I will say it is objectively better on the keyboard. But that being said, I think Kavalka might disagree with me.
Yeah, I prefer to play platforms on controller, so I'm a controller person.
There is one advantage that I will admit to the controller players having, which is the Shark Mask actually has 360 movement. So if you have the analog stick, you have access to that. So I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because I don't have access to the 360 movement on the Shark, but you know what? That doesn't stop me. And you can totally play it on a controller if you're on the PC. very accessible to any type of play style. But me, yeah, I play on WASD. I'm into the keyboard. So anyways, that level went really fast, but you know what? There isn't a whole lot to say about that level. It's pretty straightforward. Now we're on to the boss. I'm going to just briefly explain with this boss. Again, the patterns are totally fixed, not random. This is Buck. And what we have to do with Buck is we have those 2 beats. Those beats are going to show up and we're going to hit them, and when we hit them, his cheeks are going to puff up. So watch him in the background. There he goes, his cheek puffs up just like that. When we hit the second one, Buck is going to come attack us, and then we're going to hit Buck, and then we're going to have to do that 3 times. With this boss, for some reason, we recently found that in the first phase and in the third phase, you can actually hit Buck when he's off screen, and that saves a lot of time, because once he comes on screen, we have to wait for him to kind of face towards us, and that wastes a little bit of time. So now I'm going to hit the second beat. I know it's coming in right here, and I'm going to time this shot and see if I can hit him off screen. Just like that, and we got it. Excellent. So he doesn't even come on screen, he just flies away. The second phase, no matter how much I've tried, I have not figured out how to do it, and I'm not sure if it's possible. And that's another thing, like, we could really use a glitch hunter in this game, somebody who can break it apart and figure out, like, if it's possible to hit him off screen in the second phase, because I've tried and tried, and I can't do it, but the first and third phase, I can do it. So, again, these patterns are totally fixed. I've got kind of a spot where I like to hang out. I like to hang out sort of in this bottom right corner. Fly under these guys. And we've got the set of 3 coming up from the middle, and the set of 2, and then the set of 3. I'm just naming the pumpkins coming up from the middle, set of 2, and then it's going to be the set of 3, and then it's going to be another set of 3, and then it's going to be the guy that we got to hit, and we're just going to stomp him. And then Buck is going to come on screen, and we have to wait for him because I don't know how to hit him off screen. And he's going to face towards us, and we're going to kind of hit him in the forehead just like that. And that's the second phase done. Now the wind is going to go away, and for the third phase, we're going to have the pumpkins coming at us from all angles. And we're just waiting for that 1 beat to show up. And there he is. And next we're going to have the pumpkins attacking us diagonally. And we're going to be going for that off-screen hit. And actually, Midnight Vesper, I can throw it over to you for some announcements. You got about a minute?
Yeah, so we do have some stuff. First of all, if you all are watching this here on YouTube, hello, YouTube. How are you all doing? We are live streaming, of course, all on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. If you're interested in looking at the live content, all of our shows are starting most nights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And of course, do not forget that your subscriptions, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits always help support the weekly Hotfix content. If you're interested in Hotfix, go ahead and please support the channel. And of course, we also, if you have any ideas of maybe a one-off show, or maybe a show that you would like to have on Hotfix, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/Hotfix to submit all of those ideas.
Awesome, thank you so much. Yeah, support Games Done Quick. It's a great organization. So, we're coming into Island 3 here. This island is kind of like the toxic theme. It's called Toxic Tide. And we're starting off here with the shark level. So, Kavalka, what are your thoughts on this level?
Yeah, there's nothing much we can say about this level other than we can skip a lot of it and just by taking a damage boost. Mm-hmm. Or there's sometimes we can just go past some gaps, you'll see later in the level, and we don't have to take damage at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, I guess? No.
Yup, we're gonna just slip past this guy, no damage, just like that. And this guy we can also slip past without taking damage, but it's slightly faster to take damage, so we might as well. And now we're going to have the fish chasing us. Have we met the fish yet? Is this the first level where he shows up?
Yep.
I can't even remember. Okay, so now we meet the fish dude. We don't have a name for him yet. We might need to name him eventually. Yeah, basically we are just so fast as the shark that we just outrun him. But don't worry, he'll be back later. That is a really hard level, honestly. It's a really hard level to optimize. Shark movement in general is very hard to optimize. Most of what you want to do with the shark movement is not be turning too much and just go directly straight in the direction that you want to be moving. And it's pretty tough, especially in that level, squeezing through those little gaps and optimizing where you take the damage boosts. It's pretty tough. And speaking of optimizations, actually, this is a really interesting level that is quite optimized. Kavalka, you got any thoughts on this level?
Yeah, it was really hard to get a time solo, and Dev Control actually found some stuff to do so you can improve even further your time. And yeah, I think it has reached its lowest possible.
Yeah, for sure. This level, the IL time right now is a 125. Both of us have 125s, and yeah, I don't think 124 is possible. That's my strat right there, spinning through that guy. And so basically, when I first started running this game, I found that strat, and I went and snatched the world record. But I had done some other things which were slow, so Kavalka took it back. And then after like a few months later, honestly, I came back to this level and finally took the record back. So, by the way, I just want to say that my goal for this run is to do really well on every level which I have world record on. If you want to know which levels those are, you can go to speedrun.com/Kaze or Kaze/levels. And also, yeah, let's real quick talk about Kavalka. Where can people find us?
Yeah, Dev Control said you can check us on speedrun.com/Kaze, and there will be a Discord link there where we runners hang out. And if you really like this game, you can join us. And if you have any questions, please ask us. We will be glad to help.
Yeah, thank you. Please join us. It's so fun to have other people playing this game. Not a whole lot of runners are super active right now. We're really happy to help. It's a really easy game to get into, and we're really happy when people join and just start looking for things. Because like I said, there is a lot still to be found in this game. I found a lot myself. Kavalka found a lot, and like there's a lot of mysteries, and we know that there's a lot of like optimizations that can be found here. So we're really happy to have you if you want to join. So this level is 3-3 Scales Showdown. It might resemble level 3-3 from another game that you might know of. And these scales are pretty self-explanatory. We don't really need to use any of them, to be honest, in terms of like raising or lowering the levels. At least in the any percent. In 100%, you need to use like a couple of them. But for the most part, we can just kind of fly through. And that's one of the things I really love about this game, is just that the basic movement set you have is like so all-encompassing and functional that like there's some intended ways to do things that the developers put in, but like your basic movement set is so good that you oftentimes don't really need to like you get little skips, and it makes the speedrun so fun. This level is, so this is 3-5 Gusty Cliffs, and this is a Tiger Mask level. This level, so I have a funny split name for this level. My split name is Buffer Buffet, and the reason why it's called that is because this level sometimes just kind of eats your inputs. I'm not really sure why, but it just kind of does. This game has a couple weird behaviors with inputs sometimes, and this level seems to be one of the ones that those behaviors show up. However, it is mostly just a straightforward Tiger level, and everybody loves Tiger levels. That right there is called Wall Skip, because we skipped the wall. We got the fast cycle there, take damage here, intentionally, and we are moving along.
I just want you all to know that chat is really enjoying Kaze right now.
That's awesome, thank you. I do not have the chat up. I can't see what everyone is saying, but I'm excited to see the replay later. Oop. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this game. Thank you so much for being out here supporting me. And you know what? I'm going to let you know right now, I really don't want to jinx it, but we're on a pretty good pace right now, so we'll see how it goes. We haven't died yet, but we're on a good pace. But okay, 3-6, so this is a vertical level. My split name for this is Ground Pound Town, and you're about to see why. I'm not going to talk too much for this level, it's really hard. Kavalka, feel free to say anything you want to say about this level.
Sorry, my Discord. Can you say again?
We are on Ground Pound Town.
Oh yeah, so Toxic Lake is a very technical level. As we said earlier, you get a little extra height when you do a ground pound, and we are using as much ground pound as possible here to reach platforms and rings that we should take more time to reach. And yeah, this level is very hard, very technical.
Yeah, I think my IL PB has 18 ground pounds or something in it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
We're taking damage here.
So that was really well. I have to ask, on the rings that you're using to go up, are they onion rings by chance?
Sure, why not? Yeah. Yeah, they're onion rings. I never thought about that. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. I love it. Onion rings. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to call them that from now on.
Good idea.
Alright, so after that intense level, we get a mellow auto-scroller. Thank goodness. This is the one and only platform auto-scroller in the game. It's mostly straightforward. However, there's a couple things to talk about in this level. So, first of all, the camera in this level is fixed on the platform. And in this level, we find out that actually enemy behavior, remember how enemy cycles are all local? Well, they actually depend on the camera, not on the character position. As well as, so when the platform reaches the end of its track, there's 3 separate platforms and there are some transitional parts, and you can actually run ahead of the platform, but if you do that, you will actually break the camera, and we're going to see the first instance of that right here. We're just going to spin under this guy, float to the platform, hit the checkpoint, and now we're off screen, and I died, unfortunately, but that's okay because I just hit the checkpoint, and that lost probably 1 or 2 seconds, really no big deal at all. In fact, that's actually kind of a funny glitch. In that spot specifically, running in front of the platform kills you. So that's just funny that it happens. I haven't quite figured out how to control it. But yeah, another glitch too that we needed to understand. But anyways, later on in the level, at the end of the level, there's going to be a whole platforming section where we can do like 15 seconds of it like all blind. And it saves a lot of time, but it's incredibly hard. I'm not going to go for it because if I die, it loses a lot of time. However, if you want to see what that looks like, all the off-screen platforming, you can watch my ILPB of this level. It's pretty nuts. And so this is going to be the 3rd and final auto-scrolling platform. One more small technical thing. Every time you stomp enemies, you get 2 freeze frames. Those freeze frames stop the IL clock, but they do not stop the live split clock. So that means in ILs, feel free to stomp them. In full game runs, you want to actually avoid the enemies because you lose 2 frames every time you hit one. We're going to do a little bit of off-screen shenanigans right here and jump right into the platform just like that.
Wow.
So that wasn't too bad. I lost 4 seconds on that level over the death. That's very minor. We're still on a good pace here. So we're jumping into another auto-scroller. This is going to be Lizard Mask, and this level is going to be pretty much the same thing we saw in the first Lizard Mask level. We're just going to be picking up the speed from the slope and keeping it as long as we can. Kavalka, why don't you tell them about the fish and how the fish works in this level?
Oh yeah, our friendly fish. And so when we touch the red plants, the fish accelerates a little bit, so it reaches you a little faster. But when you touch the white plants, the fish simply stops. But we are going so fast here and taking speed from slopes that it doesn't matter how many red plants we touch. And there's something very interesting about this level. Oh my! There's something really interesting about this level is that there are actually 2 fishes, and we hopefully will get to see both of them on the same screen.
Unfortunately, I lost my speed, and we're not going to get the double fish glitch. I didn't quite catch the first slope correctly, but we're going to be able to speed up here again. So we're now going to get full speed. Unfortunately, I can't show you the double fish glitch. But yeah, at this point, basically, we're going so fast that this fish cannot catch us. We can hit a bunch of reds, and he will not be able to catch us. Oh, no. Okay. Well, we messed this level up a little bit, but we're not going to be losing too much time if I don't die again.
You got this.
No big deal.
Yeah, you got this.
No big deal. That's okay. It's honestly a hard level. Like, just because it's an auto-scroller, it doesn't mean you just get to fall asleep during this level. Like, and these levels, honestly, these lizard levels, I did not really like them until I, like, practiced them a lot. And, once I, like, really learned the levels, I actually really started to like them. They're a lot of fun. But they're hard. So, okay, that could have been better, but oh my goodness, it could have been way worse. So, we're still on a good pace here. We're going into the Island 3 boss, and we're soon going to be done with Island 3. Kavalka, why don't you tell them about Olaf? Olaf the Onion.
Olaf has the best music in the entire game, at least for me. And as all bosses and all levels in this game, there's no RNG, so it's pretty standard fight, and we can only hit him when he gets off the wall, when you see later. And there's no way to optimize this fight, at least as we know the game now. So we just wait and hit, and there we go.
And the fact that there's really no optimizations in this boss actually makes it like the easiest boss. Because in the first boss, we had to get those quick hits in. In the second boss, we had to do the off-screen hits. This guy, we pretty much just chill and wait. The last boss is just plain hard. Sorry, go on. What were you going to say?
I was just about to comment about how much the animations are on the enemies and how much I really enjoy them. And sure enough, just as about to, chat also says the exact same thing. They're so expressive.
I totally agree with you. The art style in this game is absolutely fantastic, and the music is beautiful too. I really love the music in this game, but it's a beautiful game. Olaf is such a funky looking boss too. So ideally we don't want to take any damage in this boss. It's usually not too hard to not take damage. There we go. So ideally we don't want to take damage because we do want to take a damage boost at the beginning of the next level. So I'll try and explain that real quick. The beginning of the next level we have this vertical section, and so that means we're doing ground pounds. And we have a couple really precise ground pounds to kind of get up to these enemies. It's going to be the armored beats. And then we have another one where we do a ground pound to take damage. And that second ground pound Kavalka found, and the first couple ground pounds were strats that I found. Although Kavalka found that strat first. So hopefully this goes well. So this is going to be a bird mask level. But right at the beginning, we've got this pretty tough vertical section. Let's see how it goes. This is honestly, I've lost some runs here. It's pretty tough getting this far into the level. Or this far into the run. Okay, there we go. Alright, there's the first one. There's the second one. And the damage boost. There we go. Breaks the camera a little bit, and we're up. Okay. Whew.
Wow.
It's not over. So this level is a bird mask level, but there's a lot of really tight, precise spots where we kind of squeeze in past some of the cycles. And there is another spot where we're going to take another damage boost, which I think is the developer intended damage boost. It's the intended spot where you're supposed to take a damage boost in the aisles, but that one that I used earlier on is actually faster. So in the aisle, in my aisle PB, I use that one instead of using this later one, but we're coming up on it. So first you see we just skip past the side there. That one's pretty loose. That one's pretty easy to get. This one's a lot more precise. And I took damage there, unfortunately, but it's totally okay to take damage there because there's a checkpoint right here and there's another heart coming up. So that's not going to be, we're not losing anything by taking damage there. And right here, we've got some cycles that we're supposed to wait on. But in this spot, we're just going to go ahead and take damage and fly right through. And then we're going to knock out that Pickle Rick right there. Those guys are totally Pickle Ricks, by the way, in case you thought they were anything else. They're Pickle Ricks. Knock out this Pickle Rick. And we are nearing the end of the level.
You know, I was thinking that.
Yeah, they're definitely Pickle Ricks. And this one is kind of precise. Got to fly through the corner right there, no big deal. And now we're basically just going to be flying around these fireballs. And we can rush the next one. So we can just barely beat that guy out, and we're out of there. All right, that was pretty good.
Nice. It's impressive because I always take damage on these diagonal shooting guys for some reason.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that part is pretty hard. Fortunately, we got that extra HP in casual mode, so I don't get too nervous about it, but it's tough. So I'm not really caring about the heart in this level, so my split name for this level is lamenting the fact that Kaze has very low corner correction in this game. If you don't hit the platform, like if you go for the edge of a platform and you're not like firmly on the platform, you get pushed off and you're dying. And in a level where you want to, just like that. Fortunately, I didn't die, but that is exactly what I was talking about. And, yeah, in this IL, in order to really, really optimize it, you have to make very precise jumps, and you want to land as soon as you can so that you can start spinning. And, yeah, you get killed by the corners a lot. So, the enemies aren't really a threat in this level. The corners are. That's kind of my joke about this level. We are riding on a couple zip lines. There's a nice coyote jump that we can do later on, but I'm not going to go for it because it's really hard and it only saves maybe about a second. Right here, we just wait and then bounce off of the jellies there. And yeah, this is definitely one of my bottom favorite aisles to grind, I would say. It's really tough, but we got through it with no problems. And now we're on to 4-3 Jelly Dungeon. This next level is all bouncy jellies, which means that there's no like spinning or anything, which means that basically the best way to optimize it is just to hold right. And it's very hard to squeeze out like any frames in this level to really improve your time. It's very difficult. And in this level, there was a runner who actually had broke the 118 barrier. So every other runner had a 119 on this except for one runner, and that runner is Sheldon's Pet Rock. Shoutouts to them. They did not appear in the Discord, they didn't have any videos, and they had a bunch of top times. I think they had the entire Island 4 sweep, they had all the top times, and some things we just did not know what they did. We just didn't know like how they got their times. Let's do this is kind of a swag skip right here. Perfect. That's saves almost no time. It's entirely swag. Yeah, so Sheldon's Pet Rock had all the top times in these levels, and I finally reached out to them on Steam and asked, like, how did you get your top times? And they shared their strats with me, and I was really grateful for that because they had found some actually really incredible strats. One which is coming up in a couple levels, which I'll show you. It's a skip that I call Sheldon Skip in honor of them for finding that.
I just appreciate that name.
Yep, Sheldon's Pet Rock. And they eventually joined the Discord server and said hi, so we're really grateful to somebody who actually did a lot to push this game forward and like found things for us without, you know, like without like showing it off at all until I asked. And I'm very grateful that they shared their strats with me. This level is Zip Lizard. So in this level, this is another lizard level. This is the last lizard level. By the way, all of the masks make one final appearance in Island 4. And in this level, we actually we don't have any slopes. So we're basically moving at just kind of the default speed for the lizard for most of this level, and that's why I'm not going to be bunny hopping, because I'm just moving at the normal speed. However, there is one tiny slope right before the checkpoint, which we can get a little bit of extra speed on, and we can go a bit faster. And because it's right before the checkpoint, it's very annoying, because if you're trying to practice a level, once you collect the checkpoint, you can't go back to get the slope. So if you want to practice like the speed strat, you have to restart the level, which makes it kind of a grind to learn the strat. So because we have these banana bills coming at us, basically most of the level is built around our speed being constant. And here we're speeding up. So we're gonna oh no, I died, my bad. All right, well, we're not gonna get to show off that strat then because we can't get the speed boost. But what I was saying was, the speed in this level is really built on like going a very certain speed because we have these banana bills coming under us. And if you're going at a different speed, they're going to be moving at a different speed relative to you. So it kind of breaks the level to get that speed boost. But if you get it and you can cross that gap, you can actually keep it for a good part of the level. And it can cut a few seconds off of the time. But it's quite difficult to do. It takes a lot of practice. And it probably only saves a handful of seconds.
Yeah. Real quick, I just now noticed when you said those banana bills, I thought they were corn.
Are they? I thought they were bananas. Kavalka, tiebreaker. Oh no, I'm dead. All right, we got a casual mode checkpoint though. I didn't quite get the jump I needed, but it's okay. We got a casual mode checkpoint. We're gonna be right back there in no time. Are they corn? I always thought they were bananas. So I call them banana bills because they're like bullet bills, but bananas. The other guys, no, they're not corn. I know they're not corn because the corn enemy is the claptrap.
Yeah.
Those guys are corn trap.
Yeah.
That's corn trap. This is banana bill. That's corn trap. All right, there you go. Problem solved. These guys are bananas. All right, we're out of there. Didn't lose too much time. Don't worry, we're totally gonna make the estimate. We're still on a pretty good pace. I'm not gonna lie. I'm about 45 seconds behind my PB, but that's a pretty good pace right now. So now we're coming into the last shark mask level, and this level is tough. This level is just a lot of really tight movement, and the enemies are positioned in a way where you can't like chain shark dashes together. You really have to like space them out properly. Just because if you're not doing a shark dash when you hit an enemy, then you're not gonna kill it. You'll take damage. So you have to like really deal with the spacing of the shark mask, and even this platforming part before getting to the shark mask is pretty tough. So here we go. We've got Fishy chasing us again. We can move so fast as the shark that that's not really going to be a problem for us. But yeah, most of this level is just really tight shark movement. And you also can't buffer shark dashes, for the record. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to play a little safe here. We've got a checkpoint and another heart coming up.
I appreciate the beats that have snorkels.
Oh yeah, the underwater beats. Totally. And the spikes do too, don't they? The green spikes.
Do they?
I think they do. Oh, we're not going to see anymore. Too bad. All right, well, go back and check that one out later. So this level actually went pretty well. I took damage one time I didn't want to, but we're out of there. So the next level, all right, so the next level is going to be the final Tiger Mask level, 4-6 Circuit Capers, and this level is where that skip is. I'll point it out when we get there. Hopefully we're going to nail it first try. We basically have all these moving platforms, and there is a cycle skip, and we had no idea, like, we could not find it. Kavalka and I were both looking to try and figure out where the cycle skip was, and we could not find it, and that other runner had found it, and eventually shared it with us. And it cut a good amount of time off the IL. I think it saved around something like maybe 7 seconds, maybe 8 seconds off the IL. So it's quite a big save.
It skips a lot of the level.
Yeah, you cannot, like, you basically can't beat your time. You can't beat a time with the skip if you're not using it. Okay. So, yeah, it's just a really difficult level, honestly. I mean, you have these moving platforms, but there's all these skips you can do. So, the skip is coming up. What we're going to do is we're going to walk off the platform and coyote jump, because in addition to spin jumping, you also have coyote jumps in this game. We obviously can't spin jump when we're the Tiger Mask. So we're going to walk off and coyote jump right here, and then we're going to coyote jump off this one as well. Grab the wall, climb up, and make it to that platform. That's the cycle skip right there.
Awesome.
And that is tough. I'm really glad that I got that. That is a difficult strat. It saves a good amount of time. So, this part is just kind of a vertical auto-scrolling part. we are going to do a small skip here, taking damage just to get up a little bit faster, which again moves the camera up and spawns these next platforms in just a little bit earlier. And once we hop on these platforms, we're going to ride it to the top, and we're going to be out of the level in just a moment.
Explain how you did that, where you're kind of bouncing on the wall in that one spot, so you can stay in your position.
That's just, so the Tiger Mask just grabs the wall and you can just jump. So part of the wall, I didn't really point this out, but part of the wall has kind of a tiger blocker where you can't climb on it. So I had just reached the top of the part that I could climb, and I was just jumping up, unable to grab on the tiger blocker. That was basically all it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So this level is, this is a very hard level, 4-7, and this is actually the final level before the boss, so we're almost done. We're almost done with this run. We're gonna grab this heart. There's actually only one heart in this level. There's no heart after the checkpoint. And I'm gonna go for a pretty crazy IL strat right here. If I don't get it, there will be a casual mode checkpoint. So, we got it! Awesome! Okay.
Nice.
That is difficult. If I died there, I would have respawned right there, so it's not too risky in casual mode. But it's kind of like, that's kind of like a crazy IL strat. And I would never go for that if I was like on a PB pace. Let me just put it that way.
It doesn't seem like doing that is really, really precise and took a lot of effort to be done.
It doesn't seem like it, but it is.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It totally is. It's really hard. And it only saves like a second, maybe.
I always enjoy those ones that seem easy but are really difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That strat, I'm not even joking, that strat might even be harder than doing the blind strat at the end of the platform auto-scroller. That's like seriously one of the hardest IL strats, I swear. It takes a lot of practice. I think I just got lucky. I think I just got lucky hitting that. So we're almost done with the run. We're skipping the bonus level, and we're jumping right into the final boss. And so we've only got about 3 minutes left on the run here. And this boss, again, so at the beginning, everything's going to look random, but it's totally not. The pattern is entirely fixed. So we're going up here for the first gem. And the second one spawns right here. So I just know the platforms where they're going to spawn on, and the laser beams also are totally fixed. They always appear in the same place. And Kavalka, what would you say about the difficulty of this boss?
This boss isn't as difficult as it may seem for a final boss. Only this second part, I might say, because we are moving horizontally, so if you fall, the entire battle is resetted. So it's a big time loss. But the other sections are not so punishing. The third part of the fight, we are moving vertically, so if we fall, we can reach a platform and be safe.
Yup, I feel like with this boss, right after this phase, we're going to go into the shark mask. All the masks kind of make an extra appearance. I feel like the shark mask is the hardest part. Right here, if I'm playing on original mode and I've only got 1 HP, this is the spot where I need my HP, because I might take damage here.
Oh, wow.
Fortunately, we get through that without taking damage, and I feel like after that part, it's kind of easy. Like, this part, if you just route this well, she's not going to hit you, and you won't be in the way of any of the laser beams. And again, we know where all the gems are going to be. They're all totally scripted. We know where the laser beams are going to be. They're always in the same place. She likes to shoot the laser beam, like, right opposite the gems. So here we've got the double laser. And now we're going to go to the right to go around her and back up to the left to pick up the gem. And we've got only one more gem. And we hit her. And now we're going into the lizard mask. And at this point, basically, you're looking at your timer and calculating how much you PB'd by. Because the rest is pretty easy. And now we've got the tiger mask. In this part, we can actually rush ahead, but we still have to wait for her to come up. And time is coming up, so time is going to be, the screen's going to fade to white and then cut from white to black. and time is going to happen on that cut. And I will let you know when it happens. Here we're supposed to grab and climb up that wall right there, but we don't have to. And we're just going to hang out right here. There's the tiger blocker, by the way. If you see all the way at the top, I can't climb on that. So now we just wait for her to catch up. And time is going to be coming up. We're going to get the final hit here. And time.
GG.
GG. Great run.
Thank you, thank you. I'm really happy with that. According to the load list timer, that's actually only 45 seconds behind my PB, so that was a solid run.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So if anyone that was in chat was interested in wanting to know more about that, I know you talked about it earlier. Let's say someone came in later on and was like, man, I really want to learn the speedrun. I really want to try these ILs. Where would any individual go?
So there are leaderboards on speedrun.com, and we've got individual levels. Speedrun.com/Kaze is going to be the main game. Speedrun.com/Kaze/levels is going to be the individual levels. You can watch videos. I have videos of all of my PBs, which you can watch if you want to start learning some strats. Or it might be even better to just get into it on your own. And on any platform, you can run ILs with the time trials using the clock and just start learning them. If you want to learn the full game, again, I've got videos of my PBs. You can learn strats there if you like, or you can just play it yourself. You can play it on any console, on any system. I highly recommend getting it on PC because it's most popular on PC, and we have the auto splitter for full game runs, but there are leaderboards for consoles as well. So we would really love to have you here. And before I go, I think I want to just give a few shout outs to some members of the community who have really helped with this game. So I want to give big shout outs to Oreo for just being active and helping so much with the server. Shout outs to Minfin, and shout outs to both of the other verifiers, Deln and Aliens Cube, and shout outs to Sheldon's Pet Rock. And also shout-outs to the Celeste community. Any of my Celeste friends are watching. Love you. Thanks for supporting me. And major shout-outs to Kavalka. Thank you so much for being here. And Kavalka, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me here. It was great to see this amazing game. And you did a really good job in this run. And thank you, everyone, for watching. As Dev said, if you want to join us, you can just access speedrun.com/Kaze. And thank you, everyone. I think that's it for me.
Awesome. And shout outs to Flurby and Waifu who are doing the Gears run afterwards. Stay tuned for that because I did some Gears running myself as well, and this run's going to be awesome. I've seen it before. It's going to be a great run, so stay tuned for it.
Yeah, that's coming up next. And finally, real fast, if anyone was interested in following y'all, where'd they go?
So for me, I'm on YouTube. Just search Death Control on YouTube. And I have a Twitch account, but it's inactive just because my internet isn't so good right now. Hopefully someday I can get back to doing Twitch streaming. I really want to. But my YouTube is where it's at. And you can reach out to me on Discord. Death Control number 7106. So that's me, Kavalka.
Yeah, I usually live stream on twitch.tv/Kavalka, right as you see on screen. And I also upload my videos, my PBs on YouTube. I gotta get a link for that, but you can find me on Twitch.
All right. Well, thank you both very, very much. And like Death Control said, we're going to get things set for Gears of War Ultimate Edition. This is now a great time to get up, stretch, use the restroom, get some water, hydrate, anything else along those lines. We're going to take a short break while we get things set for Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Stay tuned.